What's happening, guys? So in this video, we're gonna go over 8 things that will ruin your life. So stay tuned. 8 things that will ruin your damn life. 8. Number 1. Can you read that? Dating the wrong people. And here's the thing with this one. It's a good thing to make mistakes. It's a good thing to probably date somebody that, you know what, things happened. But I'm not letting you off the hook that easily. Making the same mistakes time after time after time again. It's even all right to make a couple, to make a handful. But you have to learn from these mistakes, and this is where you have to start setting boundaries from your mistakes. That's what I've done, and it's saved me a lot. Probably saved my life, to be honest. So date the wrong people can absolutely ruin your life. Number 2, kind of the same thing, but in reverse. Having the wrong friends group. This is something else I have learned from in the past. Even if you have similarities with people, even if you both enjoy sports or things of that matter, you have to have more than that just in common. Just because you both play a sport, just because you both play piano, just because you both go to church, just because you both go to the gym, it's probably not enough. So you have to be very wary of who your friends group is and keep a small circle, because you are who you hang out with. If you don't want to be like the people you're hanging out with, stop hanging out with them. You got the wrong friends group. That's not where the trajectory of your life is heading, so cut that shit out. Cut it out! Number 3. Not having a plan at all. It's all right to not know exactly what you're doing with your life. You just have to have some sort of plan. You have to have some sort of strategy. If you have none, and you're kind of just doing something over here, and you're kind of just doing something over there, and you're not even giving it your all, like, you need a plan of some sort. It doesn't have to be, I would recommend having a more solid plan and putting a lot of work into the things you're doing, but sometimes, especially if you're young, you have to go through that phase where you're putting a lot of eggs in this basket, a lot of eggs in this basket, and possibly a lot of eggs in this other basket. So you're trying things, but you're making your time count. You're not just over here, over here, over here, over there, over there, over here, over here, over there. You're doing too much. So having no plan and just living your life as if you have no purpose will ruin your life. You won't know it until you know it, and by that time, it's typically too late. Number 4. This is another good one. Bad habits and addictions. This is something I have, what I find is when you're living a life you don't want to live, you're going to have bad habits and addictions. When I was in school, coming on to the end of it, I no longer wanted to be there. I found junior high an incredible experience. High school, not so much. And a lot of people experience the exact same things as myself. And when we start to live a life we don't want, we start to do things we probably shouldn't be doing. So kick out the bad habits, the bad addictions, get your head on straight, because it will ruin your life. All of a sudden you're addicted to things. All of a sudden you lose a part of who you are. All of a sudden the identity that you have within yourself no longer is there in the way that it was. So you have to be able to kick those bad habits, get back up on the horse like I did whenever I was young. And I wasn't even bad. It's just that I started to develop maybe smoking a little bit too much weed. Maybe I was addicted to nicotine a little bit too much, and sometimes you don't know until you know it, and you stop doing it. It's like, damn, I want this again. Damn, I want that again, but it's not good. It catches up to you. It starts to have an effect over you, and all of a sudden you find yourself kicking these addictions. It will ruin your life. So don't do it. Stick to the health. And that goes on to number 5. Neglecting health and wellness. As soon as I started getting rid of my bad habits and addictions, coming on to the end of high school, the very first thing I done was I got straight into the gym. I got straight into health and wellness to a whole other level. Me and the friend that I was going with at the time, we would go to the gym, we'd come back home to my place, we'd go in the back room, big ass TV with the laptop, HDMI cord. We were doing so much research. He was helping me, I was helping him, and we were doing so much research on meals, preparation, workouts, how to do this, how to do that, rest, recovery, just so many things. I obsessed over it, bro, like for a good year straight. And if you obsess over something for a year straight, you're gonna be damn good at it. And that's what I done. That's what I made happen. And you have to start making things matter. Like your health, your overall well-being matters. Start putting time into it. It is the best investment you will ever make. It's the first big investment I ever made in my entire life. Like ever. So that's a must. If you can't do that, you might as well fold. Something else that'll ruin your life. And this is easier said than done. Caring what other people think. Especially coming out of school, it's tough. You're gonna care what people think. You can say you don't, but you still do. It's something you have to gradually work yourself out of. You have to start to develop a better mindset that's good for you, and not who cares who else it's good for. What matters is what's good for you. Who cares about what they think? That does not matter. What matters is what you think. What matters is what you want to do with your life. So you can't care what people think. If you want to start that podcast, you can't care what your hometown people think. If you want to start to get jacked in the gym, you can't care what people think. You can't care about what your relatives think. Come back home and scare your family one day because now you're jacked. Who cares? Do the things that you want to do unapologetically, as long as it's legal, moral, and ethical. You're fine. So if anyone has trouble with what you're doing when you're doing something good, they're just a hater. So keep doing what you're doing. You can't care what people think. Number 7. Comparing yourself to others. Everybody has to start somewhere. We all have to start somewhere. You can look up to certain people. You can pay attention to other people, but you can't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 24. It takes time, bro. It takes so much time to build yourself, to build your life. It's irrelevant where somebody else is at. Like I said, you can watch people, you can look up to people, you can aspire to be like people, but comparing yourself to them and, oh my God, I should be where they're at, it's irrelevant. You have to do the work just like everybody else. You have to take the stepping stones up. You have to get to chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, etc. Just like everybody else. So don't stress over where you're at right now. And it's easier said than done. It's tough sometimes in life when you're not where you want to be. And you know you can be further, but you're at where you're at. It's tough. You have to have faith in God. And this is something I jotted down right up here. You have to have faith. You have to know what you're capable of, and you have to continue to take the right actions in life. It just takes time. There's only so much you can do at the age you're at. There's only so much you can know being a younger person. It just takes time. Something else that'll ruin your life. Overthinking. This is also something that's easier said than done. There are certain things in life that we're going to face, that we're going to go through, that's going to make us overthink, but it's up to yourself to be solid in the mind. You'll have nights where you're thinking about things you probably shouldn't be thinking about. You're going to have days where you're probably thinking about things you shouldn't be thinking about, but what I've come to know is you have to outwork these things. You have to outwork your doubt. You have to outwork your worry. You have to outwork of what you even think that you're capable of. You have to just put your whole life into your life. It's amazing, isn't it? You have to put your whole life into your life. if that makes sense. Like the things you want to do, you have to invest so much of yourself into the things that you truly want to do as a human. That's what you have to do. If you really want to get really good at piano, you have to invest so much of yourself into piano, even if other people's calling you selfish or, oh, why don't you come out with us and all this stuff, you can't care. You have to invest so much of yourself. And that's the only way anything's going to happen. So the more you do that, the more you're going to outwork the doubts, the less you're going to overthink, because you're going to know in your mind that you're doing everything you can, and you will get closer and closer and closer to achieving the things that you want to achieve. The more action you put in, the less overthinking you're going to do. The less action you put in, the more overthinking you're going to do. You're overthinking for a reason, because you're not doing nearly enough. When you do a lot, you're going to be so exhausted with your passions, with the things you're doing, you don't even have time to overthink. You're just, you know you killed it. You know you did everything you can. You knew you left it all out there. People who know they didn't leave it all out there are going to overthink, oh my God, all that time you spend you could just be going. You could just be doing more push-ups. You could be doing more sit-ups. You could run 100 laps around your house. I don't care what you do. You could be doing something with that time you're spending overthinking about dumb shit. So don't do it. Bro, when I used to live in my parents' place whenever I was young, I was literally up in the middle of the night and I was studying, I was doing things, and it's like, when you get those random bursts of energy, bro, you're just walking out your door and you're going for a long ass run down the road. No street lights, nothing. Pitch dark. You know what the road is like because you lived there for so long, and you're just running down the road. There's not a car in sight. It's pitch black and you're just vibing. You know you're doing what you should be doing, and that's very important. I gotta take a leak right now, bro. I just drank a bunch of water. I just got back from the gym. Be lucky to finish this video. And here's a couple other things I jotted down. So, other things that will ruin your life is always looking for better. There's nothing wrong with looking for good things. There's nothing wrong with getting your worth. But if you have something really good and you know it's really good and you're just continuously looking for better, that's not going to do you any good. You have to be grateful for the good things that you do have. Because if you don't, things ain't going to work out. When you have something good, bro, you keep it. Anytime something good has come into my life, I done zero things to mess that up. Unfortunately, other people has done things on their end to mess it up. But I know when I have something good and I'm going to do nothing to mess that up. So it's very important to know this. You can't always be looking for better. It depends what it is, I guess, but like when it comes to human beings that's in your life, if you have it really good with the people that are in your life, that's in your circle, that should be good enough. Like Andrew Tate, he's got his brother. He's not looking everywhere else for, is there anything better out there? He is grateful for what he has. He trusts his brother. He trusts the very few people that's in his life. He trusts a certain particular woman. That's all that matters. And yes, I think I spoke about this. Not setting boundaries. You have to set boundaries. If you have people and friends that's coming into your house and they're just kicking off their shoes, disrespecting your home, getting dirt everywhere, it's like, that's stupid, bro. People like that are dumb. Like, you shouldn't be friends with people like that. You have to set boundaries. You have to teach people how to treat you. People can't just be doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff to you. People can't be disrespecting you, walking over you. You have to set boundaries. It's a good thing. And something else that will ruin your life is putting too much faith in people. You guys have to understand the amount it takes for me to actually be on board with not only females, with friends, with anything else, even family. Like, bro, it takes me so much to actually be on board with people, it's not even funny. I don't just, the littlest things happen and oh my God, I met the best friend ever. Oh my God, it's the best girl ever, because the littlest things are happening. Like, bro, it's going to be a process. It's going to take time. I don't put my faith into people like that. I've learned my lessons, which goes to number one. And two, dating the wrong people and having the wrong friends group. You can't just, when the smallest things happen, put all your faith into people, trust them, everything's going to be amazing. It's very hard to trust people, bro. It's not easy. And it's not that you just give them untrustworthy vibes. It's just that you let things go on. You see what's going on. And yeah, you don't put too much faith in people. And the last thing I want to speak about is not trusting your intuition. Your gut knows more than you think about certain people, situations, places you might go to with particular people there. Like, there are some times in the past when I went out to certain clubs and it's like, I don't even want to be here no more. Like, I'm ready to go. And I might not have left right then and there because I was with other people, but I wanted to go. And we did leave earlier than we thought we were going to, which I liked. You have to trust your intuition when it comes to certain things. That's a random example. And man, I gotta take a leak. I'm glad this is the last thing. I just gotta move a little bit right now. But yeah, man, you have to trust your intuition about certain situations, certain people that's around you. If you feel something sketchy, then it probably is. Like, bro, I said this before on this channel, there could be a serial killer like acting like they're cool around me. If they're actually a serial killer, bro, I know for a fact that they are. They don't have to act nice and I'm just gonna believe them. I can tell people, bro, vibes do not lie. I can, your intuition and your gut, it does not lie about these particular people. It does not lie. And my intuition is not lying right now that I need a leak, so I'm gonna have to cut this video short. It's bad, bro. Like, I took creatine, drank coffee, and drank a bunch of water, so I gotta end this one short. I'll be back.